All right, today we are diving deep into history to uncover a forgotten giant. We're talking about an empire so powerful, so influential, that it stood right alongside the greatest names of the ancient world. And yet most people today have probably never even heard of it. So let's fix that. Let's explore the lost superpower, the Kingdom of Axum.
So, when you think of ancient superpowers, what names pop into your head? Rome, of course, Persia, China. These are the titans, right? The empires that literally shape civilization as we know it. But back in the 3rd century, a prophet actually named a fourth great power, an empire that had its hands on the pulse of global trade. The big question is, who were they?
The Kingdom of Axum. That's it. This is the lost superpower we're here to talk about. A civilization that rose up in the Horn of Africa and left a mark on history that's, well, pretty incredible. Now, to really understand Axum's incredible rise to greatness, we have to go back to its foundations. You see, a powerhouse like this doesn't just pop up out of nowhere. It was built on layers and layers of ancient history. So, let's get our bearings. Geographically, we're in what is now modern-day Ethiopia and Eritrea. The kingdom itself gets going around the 1st century AD and hangs on for nearly 1,000 years. I mean, think about that. 1,000 years. That is a truly remarkable lifespan for any empire. But here's the kicker. Axum wasn't even the beginning of the story in this region. It was actually built upon the foundations of an even older, more mysterious kingdom called Dimat, which had thrived centuries earlier. So the roots of the civilization run incredibly deep. And from those deep, ancient roots, Axum didn't just grow, it blossomed. It entered this amazing golden age, becoming a true crossroads of the ancient world. It was a buzzing hub of commerce, of culture, and of course, of power. And at its absolute peak, from about the 3rd to the 6th centuries, Axum was recognized as one of the 4 great powers on the entire world stage. And look who they're sharing that stage with: Rome, Persia, and China. That is some seriously elite company to be in. So how did they earn that reputation? Well, for starters, it was a global trade hub. Its main port, Adulis, was the gateway for gold, ivory, and spices flowing between Africa, India, and the Roman world. They were also master builders, creating these breathtaking monuments, colossal stone obelisks, or stelae, carved from a single piece of rock. Culturally, they were pioneers. Get this, they were one of the very first states in the world to adopt Christianity. And to top it all off, they showed their independence by being the first kingdom south of the Sahara to mint its own coins. Of course, empires are always built by people, by great leaders. Zoscales was the first known king who really laid the groundwork, but it was King Izana in the 4th century who truly transformed the kingdom. He wasn't just a military genius, he made a decision that would define Axum's identity forever. And then, later, in the 6th century, you had King Khalid, who pushed Axum's influence across the Red Sea all the way into Yemen. And this right here, this was the pivotal moment. Under King Izana, Axum became one of the first states in the entire world to officially adopt Christianity as its state religion. And this wasn't just a religious shift, it was a huge political move that aligned Axum with the mighty Roman Empire and totally shaped its destiny for centuries to come. But, as we all know, even the greatest empires can't last forever. The tides of history began to turn, and Axum's golden age started to fade. The kingdom entered a long, slow twilight, and the story of its fall is just as fascinating as the story of its rise. The decline wasn't some sudden collapse. It was more of a slow burn, caused by a perfect storm of factors. First, the rival Sassanid Persian Empire rose up and started disrupting Axum's control over that all-important Red Sea trade. Then, in the 7th century, the expansion of Islam fundamentally rerouted the world's trade lanes, basically cutting Axum out of the loop and leaving it economically isolated. Add in some internal conflicts, and the kingdom just slowly weakened over time, until it finally faded from history around the 10th century. The shift was just dramatic. I mean, you go from being this global player that dominates trade to being totally isolated. The strong visionary leadership of its golden age just kind of gave way to internal strife and weakness. It was a complete and total reversal of fortune. But here's the really cool part. The fall of the kingdom wasn't the end of the story, not by a long shot. Axum's influence didn't just vanish into thin air. It echoed through the centuries, and its legacy is still very much alive today. So what did it leave behind? Well, for one, Axum laid the political and cultural foundation for the later Ethiopian empire that would follow it. It remains a cornerstone of Christianity in Africa to this day. Its incredible architectural achievements, those giant obelisks, they're still standing, a silent testament to its former power. And then there's the legend, a mystery that has fascinated people for centuries. Because beyond all the confirmed history, all the incredible achievements, Axum is tied to one of the greatest mysteries of all time. It is rumored to be the guardian of a sacred, world-changing artifact. According to a tradition that goes back centuries, the actual Ark of the Covenant, the chest said to hold the 10 Commandments, was brought to Ethiopia and now rests in a small church in the city of Axum. Now, this has never been proven, of course, but it's a powerful final echo of this lost superpower, leaving all of us to wonder, what other secrets might this incredible kingdom still be holding?
Hello, my dear friends! If you enjoyed today's adventures, don't forget to hit the subscribe button to receive all the fun and exciting new stuff.